All right, I'm just going to give you a quick tour of the Reservations Coordinator main Google Drive. There is a public Reservations Coordinator Drive and the shared drives. So my drive is essentially yours, where all your primary content is. And then all the public, university relevant content is in shared drives, Reservations Coordinator. This is policy stuff, meetings, billing and fees, spaces, space information. Um, but in your main drive, there are links, various links scattered throughout these folders, depending on topic, to the relevant content in the Reservations Coordinator drive. So just do some exploring, take a look around. You'll see the connections and the links to the relevant content as you go through. But just starting at the main drive, my drive, let's go. Artwork's not relevant. CAD-RC is Cultural Arts and Diversity Resource Center. There are various resources pertaining to the partnership and stakeholder relations with CAD-RC. There are some key tracking content here. Stevenson and CAD Next Steps, kind of the diplomatic plan rollout for working with CAD moving forward. And of course, the main document is the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding. This was drafted a couple years ago to help guide Stevenson and CAD relations. So do study this and get acclimated to some of the content and the policy, because there are some items in there that both parties are expected to adhere to. So going back to the drive, context personnel, this may or may not be up to date. This is just a various contact sheet. You might want to update those documents. COVID folder contains some of the recent, CHES worksite plans, but these were actually discontinued, so perhaps this folder can be deleted unless you want to start using it for other COVID resources. Going back to the drive, cruise hacks, that's one of the main university hackathons. I just have some pictures of the setup so that you can get familiar with, what tools and setups and the layouts look like. For when Cruise Hacks rolls around, which it sounds like it's going to for the year, for the 21-22 year. This guy right here is a specific electronic device which allows the event center to accommodate the power load required by Cruise Hacks. There's hundreds of devices and not all of them can be powered by the event center's built-in circuitry alone. This is a special piece of machinery which is required for Cruise Hacks, so you need to contact PPDO in order to retrieve that unit, and they will know what you're looking for when you ask them. Going into diagrams, this is, let's see here, past recurring events, various venue diagrams, event center electrical, these are just blueprints for the building, not super relevant. Financial, this is an important folder because you have billing content, requisitions and purchase orders from past projects, student staffing, and then fees. The fees folder, and you'll see that there is a hyperlink to the Reservations Coordinator drive containing up-to-date billing and fees designated by the university for what we charge for our venues and tech crew. Food and entertainment, PPDO work order analysis that we conducted with the budget analyst about a year ago. Just a good content to reference to get familiar with the work orders and processes. ProCard, quotes, estimates, invoices. So this is an important folder. You want to keep and store all your financial information in these folders. And then going into inventory. So this is largely up to date. This was updated in, I think, May or June of 2021. This document contains all the items, the audio-visual tech, digital media tech, all their serial ID bars, how many of each item. So you want to keep this document up to date. There are older versions of this in the drive, but I've marked them as old because they are not as up to date as this document. So use this document or make a different version of it, whatever suits you best, but this contains all technical equipment information that you want to keep track of. And then of course each individual venue, this is the Cowell Conference Room, Cowell Senior Commons, Fireside, Stevenson Fireside, Stevenson Silverman, Stevenson Senior Commons. These folders contain the list of equipment as well as their pictures of all the equipment, that's furniture, the tech that we have in each venue, and then they have a little note sheet for each venue. Just opening that up real quick. You'll see that the conference room have 10 metal tables, 1 metal side table, 25 plastic chairs, a Series 700 powered speakers podium. These again might not be up to date since a lot of our venues were just renovated, so you want to update these pictures and then update the note sheet again, because inventory and asset tracking is an important part of the reservations coordinator position, and keeping all this information up to date is critical. So going back to the main drive, processes and procedures. This is all operating procedures, standard, policies and processes and stuff to reference. And you'll see that there's, again here, another hyperlink to the reservations coordinator drive, because this is public-facing, university-relevant information. Policy, processes, and procedures, that's something you want to make available, and this is available. It's a shared drive with the rest of Cowell Stevenson and Ches. But let's go back to your process and procedures folder. Here, the reservations coordinator operating manual, checklist on event cleanup, facilities link. This contains information and metadata on all the facilities, key signouts, and tech rental. This folder is important because this is where you track and manage your key signouts and the equipment that you rent out for audiovisual and digital media. People want to borrow a projector or one of the Owl Meeting Pros or a microphone or some speakers. Tech rentals, that's where that's going to be tracked. And then when somebody needs to access the Cowell Conference Room, which is usually locked when it's not in use, well then you're going to be renting out keys and you need to track your key inventory. So that folder, that's what that's for. Going back to processes and procedures, the SEC committee. You as the reservations coordinator are the chair of the Stevenson Event Center committee. And clicking into this to learn more about that, this is a hyperlink again to the reservations coordinator folder. You can learn more about the committee and what capacity you serve in, what it's for, going through that folder. And then spaces, just some more metadata and information on your spaces. So processes and procedures, an important folder. Keep it up to date and reference it frequently. ResCoord process videos, I think. Yeah, this folder contains a series of how-to videos that I've also posted on the Reservations Coordinator YouTube account, but this is just another location for maybe a couple of those. I used to utilize Trello for the reservations coordinator position. This is a document with repeating ResCoord tasks. This document contains a list of recommended tasks that you should carry out weekly pertaining to managing reservations. So yeah, these repeating tasks, open this up, take a look, will help you a lot. So roll them out and reformat them in a manner you see fit. Going back to the main drive, reservations, you'll see some tracking documents, the real estate office. This is an important folder because non-university affiliates, when they want to use one of your venues but they're not an employee or student of the university, they need to go through the real estate office for a facility use permit. That information is tracked in here. Various Stevenson Event Center reservations. I think we used to keep an archive of all reservations that came through. That's where this is. Going back to the main drive. Safety, take a look at that. SEC remote instruction site, that was something we did during COVID, so I will actually move that into the COVID folder. Yes. So another, probably the most important folder in your drive is the SEC schedule, Stevenson Event Center schedule. This contains the master database or Google Sheet where all reservations come to. That's this sheet here. That's what's included in the reservation automation. This is what Zapier and Qualtrics and Google Calendar all talk to. This tracks all the reservations that come through. So this is a critical document and it resides in the SEC schedule folder. This is the original. We're no longer using that one. We've since updated the reservation process. We are now using Master B. So be sure to go into Master B when you're working with reservations, updating the Zap in Zapier, referencing relevant up-to-date information. It's Master B. SOAR EP forms, those are the forms for storing event proposal forms from SOAR. They've moved to DocuSign, so everything's digital now. And then you have two Tech Crew folders. The Tech Crew Shared contains all the shared and public-facing Tech Crew operational documentation for your Tech Crew to reference, venue diagrams, staff meetings, processes, procedures. It contains their training manual and their operating manual. And then going back, Tech Crew Private is more of just stuff that you want to see on your end. That's interviews and bios, and then steps for training your Tech Crew. This is a very important document that I created. It'll kind of walk you through the process of training the Tech Crew and what resources are available to you. So yeah, Tech Crew Private and Tech Crew Shared. And then tools and resources, that's what it sounds like. It has various tools and resources. So that is your main personal facing Reservations Coordinator drive. Again, there's this one too, the public facing university oriented Reservations Coordinator drive. So also flip through here, you'll see the Cultural Arts and Diversity Memorandum of Understanding in this folder. You'll see billing and fees. This is a void folder, but we don't want to delete it because it's an archive of important information. And then some more standard operating procedure and policy, and then information on your spaces. And that's it.